In the history of man on Earth, 80 years are but a scant instant. For an individual living that long, his time on Earth may seem to pass almost as quickly. For even though memories of kindergarten may still be vivid in one's mind, suddenly one day he realizes that he has grown old. His children and grandchildren have come along, grown up, married, and had children of their own, who are themselves aging. And yet, 80 years spans quite a chunk of history. Think back 80 years. Persons who were 80 in 1935 had been born in 1855. They would have witnessed a remarkable parade of events during their lifetimes. They would have been 6 when the Civil War began, 8 when they first heard the Gettysburg Address, and 10 when General Lee surrendered at Appomattox. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated just 5 days later. General Custer's inglorious defeat by the Sioux at the Battle of Little Bighorn occurred when they were 21. In that same year, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. 3 years later, Thomas Edison invented the electric light. They could have read about the dedication of the Statue of Liberty at age 31, and at 43 could have had sons enlist to fight in the Spanish-American War. At 48, they could have witnessed the Wright brothers' first sustained flight at Kitty Hawk, but would have to wait until they were 72 to see Lindbergh make the first non-stop transatlantic flight. They would have been 59 at the commencement of the First World War in Europe, also known as the Great War, and 64 when the Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919. They would have been 60 before they could make a long-distance telephone call or travel by boat through the Panama Canal. In the 80 years prior to 1935, the United States had grown in size and in population. U.S. population had increased almost 5-fold, from 27 million in 1855 to 127 million in 1935. 17 states had been brought into the Union, most in the Midwest and West, beginning with Minnesota in 1858 and continuing through Arizona, the last of the contiguous U.S. states, in 1912. There had been 19 American presidents. Franklin Pierce was president in 1855, and Franklin Roosevelt was president when they were 80 in 1935.